Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is ECW, and yes, my commentary can grace you once again for the greatest show of the week. Why would I miss out on my own show? That would be a dumb idea, but anyway, we are in the hometown of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. That is right, we are in Gainesville, Georgia for tonight's episode of ECW, and a bit of an interesting one on its way. Seth Rollins, unfortunately, the man of the hour, the man of the year even, to use as a better example, is unfortunately unable to compete here tonight and is reinventing his game plan ahead of Money in the Bank 40 as planned. So with that being said, Diamond Dallas Page is hosting an open challenge here tonight, whereby anyone and everyone can step up to the plate and challenge the ECW champion. So that's going to be a bit of an interesting one, to say the least. But with that being said, I am looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll see some interesting things go on in our match. We're going to start things off here with an number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship, Dean Malenko and Neville. So here we go. It is a rematch, maybe? No, I don't think it's actually a rematch, but I do know that this is 100% a match between two men who have a little bit of animosity with one another. A match for the for the number one contendership, of course, for the Cruiserweight Championship. Dean Malenko and Neville over these last few weeks have gone a little bit more heated with one another. Kind of all started at Heatwave, where Malenko had, unfortunately, for his sake, lost to Suicide in the rematch for the Cruiserweight Championship. Suicide, of course, retaining his title. Then Neville, following his loss to Jericho earlier in the night, was a bit livid. Backstage, we saw Neville walking around incredibly frustrated and took his anger out on Dean Malenko, shoving him into a garage shutter and thereby knocking him out with it. Malenko bounced back last week, I believe it was, attacking Neville following the match and demanding that these two men meet here tonight, of course, to determine the number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I solemnly accepted it. I believe that both these men have the potentiality. Malenko's match against Suicide at Heatwave was a bit of a sleeper match in the aspect of not many people paid attention to it, but it was in its own way a very, very, very entertaining matchup. So with that being said, it's kind of difficult not to award Dean Malenko potential third chance, but Neville's going to be hungry to try and challenge Suicide as well and win that Cruiserweight Championship for a second time. Neville coming out here, same entrance as before, but with a different attitude to him. The old Neville of Europe's finest past, with the mentality that he doesn't care about the mindset of the crowd, what they think of him. It is just all about what Neville believes and what Neville thinks. And as we can tell right here, right now, Neville believes that it is his best intentions to go through Dean Malenko here tonight and continue on his quest to become the Cruiserweight Champion. Neville becoming increasingly frustrated at how people just turned their back on him. Even when he was fighting the New World Order, all the focus went elsewhere, to Wade Barrett, even to Cesaro, and not to one of the first men to fight for that ECW, for the right to hold on to ECW in Neville. Think of it as like the situation with Diamond Dallas Page, only Rollins is wow. Okay, see, I'm missing Rollins already. But even, in Neville's case, it actually makes sense because he was fighting against the NWO for the longest time and was then just brushed to the side for whatever reason. And that makes sense. I mean, the same could be said for Sheamus. Of course, Sheamus has got a little bit of a frustrated aspect to him and has so now for quite some time, to be fair. Certainly over the last few months it has orchestrated itself more and more, and Sheamus is going to be discussed, I believe, later on tonight, and I will talk about that in a moment. But as for the rest of the card, the Dirty Heels are going to go in a tag team matchup against the Authors of Pain, wanting to set themselves in as the most dominant tag team on ECW and remind themselves who should be challenging the Wyatt family for those tag team titles. That is what they have planned here tonight. However, and perhaps, more interesting claims, it seems as if the team of AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels have become more, not really infatuated, but more, I don't know what the right choice of words would be, more involved in the tag team division, and have certainly put their stake, thrown their name in the hat, I believe the best term is. So we'll see what's going to happen with that later on tonight. Speaking of AJ Styles, he will be in action in his hometown. But before that, we're going to have a fatal 4-way Money in the Bank qualifier involving 4 debuting or recently picked up from NXT superstars. 2 of each. 2 new signees to the universe and 2 people who we have acquired from NXT. And I'm excited to show you all 4 of them in action later on tonight. The winner will join Samoa Joe and Rusev in that Money in the Bank ladder match, who we know to be unveiled already. Raw still silent about it, and not letting us know what is next and who is going into that Money in the Bank ladder match. But nevertheless, that is not my problem. That is the problem of a general manager who can't do his job. Anyway, cover here by Malenko. It's not enough to face Suicide one more time. They will be facing each other off on the ECW before Money in the Bank, as a little heads up, just to let you all know. That's, I believe, 2 weeks from now. So, should be an interesting one. Neville right now taking the fight to Dean Malenko. Is he going to go up high? He's going to go to the second rope, at least. Neville, middle rope, Phoenix Splash. Reminded me of Rollins more and more with every moment that goes by. But then we have a match involving Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles. I can only imagine how this place is going to react when they hear the theme of their hometown hero and the Phenomenal One. Always got to please your crowds. If you're a general manager, you know how to do your job. And pleasing your crowds is always the best intention. So with that being said, of course, I can't wait to see what how they react to AJ Styles. At some point in the night as well, we will be hearing from the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. That is what I meant when I was referencing Sheamus earlier, in regards to the situation surrounding Roddy Strong, Sheamus, and that ECW Television Championship. So that one, keep your wits about you for that one. I'm not too sure when Ambrose is going to show up. Hopefully we'll have a confirmed slot later on in the night. And then, of course, the main event, Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page going to take on anyone in the main event. Open challenge. He's going to want to keep his wits about him, because last time did not go that well for Diamond Dallas Page. He had to face Braun Strowman and was quickly defeated by the Monster Among Men as well. And do not be surprised also if Strowman could show up here tonight, of course, with Styles and Wyatt squaring off. Be interesting to see who stands up, who wants to take on Diamond Dallas Page. I mean, many could make their claims. Samoa Joe, maybe Braun Strowman again. Aleister Black. There are a distinct number of names as Neville hits the red arrow. Did not know that was on its way. Neville strikes with a red arrow on Malenko to take on Suicide. There's 1, there's 2, and oh, Malenko lifts the shoulder up in time. But there we go, that's enough discussing the card. Let's get on to this match right now. Neville worn out after hitting that red arrow. I don't think was anticipating Dean Malenko to kick out. Malenko still fighting on here now and making this matchup a little bit more difficult. The man who wants to become the Cruiserweight champion, and there's the strength of Malenko once more, slamming him down on his ribs. That is going to hurt. That's going to cause more pain for when he decides to lock this in, and here it is. Texas Cloverleaf by Malenko, middle of the ring, sits down on the back. Can Malenko force a submission here and move on to taking on Suicide 2 weeks from now? Neville crawling to the ropes. Malenko trying to keep this hold locked in. Malenko still oh wow, great work there by Neville there. He gets out of it and is able to immediately fight back. Northern Light suplex, Bridges after it, middle of the ring. Malenko could be in trouble. No, it's only a 1 count. Here we go. Neville gonna go high risk here, looking to take flight. Will this one pay off? Neville gonna fly, and oh, drop kick. Looked like he hit him right in the jaw, but look at how quick Dean Malenko is to recover. Down goes Neville now, and Malenko's on the fight back. Malenko with 3 clotheslines to send Neville down. In the corner now. Oh, Neville moves out of the way. He's looking slightly dazed, and Neville going to make him pay maybe. After that collision with the turnbuckle, back suplex. Malenko was exploding with offense there, but just could not capitalize when he needed it most. Good kick out though at an early count, still keeping this match alive for him. Neville gonna take a run up here. Double axe handle, definitely missed that one. Good strike there by Malenko. Has Neville up against the ropes now. Teetering is Dean Malenko. And Neville, oh, this is where things start to turn in the match. Sunset flip to the outside. Thin padding in the ECW arena. So that is going to do more damage. That is almost like colliding with a concrete flooring. And Neville may have gained a significant advantage from it. Elbow in the face of Malenko. Neville, that could have been his ticket to end in this match. And he's going to try and secure it here. Slowly, but with everything he's got, Neville goes up high. Neville now, shooting star press. Into the cover. Has he put away Malenko? There's one. There's two. And there's three. It is enough. Neville is your #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. And we'll meet Suicide 2 weeks from now to see if he can become a 2-time Cruiserweight champion. There we go. Neville proving that even, with his old attitude and his old ways coming back to him, it can bring him success and it can bring him victory when it matters the most. Good win there for Neville. Congratulations on that win, and we'll see him challenge Suicide in 2 weeks from now. So let's see what's going to happen regarding that. That one, I think, may be one of the most competitive Cruiserweight matches we have seen in some time. But we'll find out when the date arrives. But that being said, we're going to move on now to our next contest. It is the Dirty Heels against the Authors of Pain. This one going to be a tough matchup for the former ECW Tag Team Champions. Alright, let's see how this one will fare for the former ECW Tag Team Champions. It was not a great first match back since losing those titles to the Wyatt family at Heatwave. Suffered a devastating loss to Styles and Michaels. And I truly believe that this matchup, if the Authors of Pain are to win this one, I will have to have a decider between the Authors of Pain and the team of AJ Styles and Michaels. Should the Dirty Heels win this one, I'll be a bit on the fence about it, but I'm not too sure because, of course, the Dirty Heels have already suffered a loss to that team. And, oh, God, the Authors of Pain have already jumped the gun, singling out even Curtis Axel and going right for him. This is a smart idea as Aries shows up on the scene now. I believe that's Akam dragging Curtis Axel to the ring here, as you can see. Not too sure what's going on between Razor and AJ Styles right now. Well, there's Razor. AJ Styles, Austin Aries. But into the ring we go. Referee deeming these two the legal competitors. And we are underway now in this tag team matchup. Razor trying to, leaving an impact already on Curtis Axel. And there's another impact being left. Huge headbutts to Axel. One from the front and one from behind. As Akam now looks to try and get underway. Not a surprise, really, that the Authors of Pain looking to resort to such tactics as they did. They have, they are very aggressive in their own right. And, well, they've certainly shown it right there against Curtis Axel. Good counter there by Akam. And, oh, my God. What a clothesline there by the Samoan. If I were the... oh, my God. Look at the strength of Axel. Nice wheelbarrow German suplex there. But if I were the Authors of Pain, I would use the, the hard skin really they possess, due to being, of course, of Samoan heritage, and use it to my advantage to make sure that Axel doesn't tag in Aries. I'm not trying to be offensive to Axel, but he is not as devastating in the matchup as Austin Aries is. Oh, there's a flattening clothesline there as Razor is now tagged in. And once more, just trying to keep Curtis Axel on the outside. On the outside even? In the ring. Trying to keep Aries on the outside. And that is a smart idea by the Authors of Pain. Look at how Razor just stomps away right now on Axel. Double axe handle as well, no pun intended, to send him down to the mat with ease. This could be a potential walkover. The Authors of Pain have not been seen for some time. I think since the Wyatt family became #1 contenders, and that could make them a dangerous threat. All this time that they have not been on TV may have frustrated them greatly. Oh my God. Each time those clotheslines, you see that clothesline getting struck, it does not get easier to watch. STO there to send Axel down to the mat, but he does a good job there. Grabs onto the leg, dragon screw, and now if I was Axel, I would make that tag, but Axel's decided against his best intentions there. That may cost him. Kick in the leg by Razor. And once more sends him into the corner of the Authors of Pain. Tag made now. And here come the double team moves again. Axel, oh, like a whiplash effect, being sent back into the turnbuckle there. And Akam now just putting the boots onto the 3-time ECW Tag Team Champion. This must be so disheartening for Aries. All he can do right now is just watch on as Akam has his way, really, with Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel does a great job there, finally countering something. But it is, oh, no, I was about to say it's in vain, but never mind. Oh, never mind, it may be. Clothesline there, and down goes Axel. This is not easy to watch by any stretch of the imagination. There's a Russian leg sweep with about 300 pounds, well, over 300 pounds of force, drilling you into the mat. Axel does a good job to counter, and now he needs to desperately go and tag in Aries. He fails to do just that. And I think he may be feeling the wrath of the Authors of Pain momentarily. Tag made. Akam yelling in the face of him, of Axel, into Razor for that big boot, which busts open Curtis Axel. Aries sent back into the outside. Cover here on Axel. This has got to do it. And it does. The Authors of Pain simply walk their way to the #1 contendership. Potentially, is what I should say in that aspect. That was an easy win there for Akam and Razor, and the former ECW Tag Team Champion slipping even further down the pendulum. Will it be? Well, at this case, if AJ Styles can definitely pick up the win over Bray Wyatt later on tonight, then I see no reason why next week we shouldn't see the Authors of Pain against AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels to determine who will take on the Wyatt family. That is kind of the way we're going, and we may be on for a huge muscle mass matchup between AOP, Strowman, and Wyatt. Keep your eyes about you for that one. We'll see what's going to happen in regards to that, but as for right now, we're going to move on to our Fatal 4-Way matchup. 2 superstars for debuting in this universe, 2 coming up from NXT. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's see who I've got in store for you. Winner, of course, going to Money in the Bank. So big opportunity. Let's find out. Here we go. This is going to be a good Fatal 4-Way, and we're kicking things off with a debut from NXT. It is Rich Swann. That is right. Help elevate the Cruiserweight division as well and strengthen our roster. Rich Swann has arrived to the ECW brand, and I'm happy about this one. I am very glad that we were able to get the acquisition of Rich Swann, the ever energetic man that he is, always ready to lighten up whatever crowd he is involved. And look at the difference you can tell between a crowd at Full Sail and the crowd at ECW. And I think Rich Swann, that just adds to his entrance. That just gets him even more excited and amped up for this. Rich Swann, I truly believe to be a very talented athlete. You know, he has missed out on some opportunities. He was arguably the runner-up in the NXT Global Championship matchup, which was a real shame. But at the same time, we benefited from it because we've gained Rich Swann. So that I'm totally okay with. With that being said, can Swann turn his second match in ECW? First match was actually an attempt to win the Cruiserweight Championship, which unfortunately for him, he did not succeed in. But can he turn this into a Money in the Bank qualifying opportunity? Or will it perhaps go to this man, also debuting from NXT? It is perhaps one of the all-around complete athletes within this universe. A mixture of everything that makes a professional wrestler great. That is Apollo Crews, also making his debut on the ECW roster. Well, this time Crews is definitely making his debut. Hasn't been seen since, has only been seen on NXT. And yeah, I'm also happy with this acquisition. Truly showing how NXT is producing some of the talent for the future, with 2 of these guys graduates from the Performance Center, and I cannot be more happy with these picks. I gotta be honest, I am proud to have both these men on my roster, and I think that, you know, this helps to reiterate what Seth Rollins has been trying to get across for so many months now. ECW is a land of opportunity and a land to make a name for yourself. And as we can see here from these 4 debutantes on the ECW roster, that is exactly what is going on. With these 4 men here, I believe this is firm proof that ECW is the brand to be if you want to make it as a name in this universe. Of course, you can try out NXT if you want, but that is becoming more and more crowded. And here comes the third man making his debut in this universe, Trevor Lee. That is right. Well, to the best of my knowledge, Trevor Lee was not in the Cruiserweight Classic. I believe that the attraction that he has picked up on the independent circuit and the name that follows him, well, he may be known in some aspects as a bit of a comedian wrestler. Trevor Lee, when he puts his mind to it, can really do harm to an opponent. And of course, I believe, if memory serves me correct, he can also fit that 225-pound limit for the Cruiserweight title that we have around here. So also can add to the Cruiserweight division as well. And if not, well, we've got a solid mid-carder as well, and a man who is not afraid to just be as bare bones and as basic as possible in order to inflict damage and pain onto his opponents. That is what I like about Trevor Lee, and that is why he has been picked up here for the ECW brand. There is one man left to make his arrival. I think it's going to be a good one as well. But Trevor Lee wanting that Money in the Bank opportunity. We've seen 3 of them thus far. One man left to come out. And one man that may be well known to quite a few people, fresh from NJPW, Tetsuya Naito. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that name right, but nevertheless. We picked up Tanahashi the week before, and now here tonight. Well, picked up Tanahashi for NXT anyway, and now here we pick up Naito for the ECW brand. That is right, we have got quite a strong selection of talent here, and quite a strong style of talent, if you will. I'm genuinely, I'm totally impressed with myself. I gotta give credit where credit's due to myself as the greatest general manager around here. I have done the best job possible, and I have guaranteed us the best talent possible. And all I can say is, you're welcome. You're welcome for the 4 men that have graced ECW and have signed, not only because this brand is the land of opportunity and hope and promise, but also because it is the best brand in the universe. And if any wrestler had the opportunity, I can guarantee they would put pen to paper on an ECW contract. But these 4 men have shown that they've earned the right to compete for ECW, and they have earned already a right to go into that Money in the Bank ladder match. And here we go, Fatal 4-Way underway right now, and Trevor Lee getting off to a strong start on Apollo Crews. Triple Germans for Apollo Crews right from the bat, and I believe this matchup will follow. False count anyway, so that's going to be something we're going to have to take into account. Trevor Lee already taking it to the top rope as Rich Swann delivers a back suplex. Lee looking for something here already on Crews. He has got off to an explosive start, but Crews moves out of the way there of that crossbody, and will look to capitalize. Swann now going to take it up to the top rope. Going to fly here, and oh, that is good timing from Tetsuya Naito. Moving out of the way there as Crews hits a very impressive back suplex. DDT from Naito. Let's see what will happen in this Fatal 4-Way. Referee going to have to keep himself very busy in this one. Going to have to keep his best wits about him, because this one is going to be an action-packed Fatal 4-Way. There's the strength of Crews, lifting him up in the air as if he was made of nothing, and then being able to power slam. Oh my god, on the outside, meanwhile, Tetsuya Naito with a senton drop onto Rich Swann. These 2 men now going to go at it on the outside. Meanwhile, still on the inside, Trevor Lee and Apollo Crews going at it. What a forearm shot there by Trevor Lee. Certainly getting off to a very impressive debut in this universe. Swann now looking to get something in on the outside. Neck breaker down on the thin padding. That is going to certainly do some something not good to your neck, putting it simply. Leaping clothesline there. Ambitious by Crews, but certainly did not succeed in nature. Naito now. Nice reversal going after the arm there of Rich Swann. And again on the outside this time. The DDT does indeed strike. And on the inside now, Trevor Lee with a fisherman suplex. Doesn't bridge after it. And that leaves Trevor Lee and Tetsuya Naito to go at it in the ring here. Trevor Lee off to a great start there with that simple but effective slam. Rich Swann standing in place. Biggie wants to go after Naito once more. Naito quick to respond though, quick to counter, and oh, elbow, oh! Taking a dig at, well, not really a dig, but, you know, taking a page out of Samoa Joe's book there with that elbow Enziguri combination. And now going right back after Trevor Lee. Apollo Crews gets in the ring here and goes right after Trevor Lee. Look at the strength of Crews now. Pound for pound, an incredible athlete. Gut-wrench suplex. And Lee certainly felt every aspect of that one. And here's the strength of Crews once more, demonstrating it again. Not too sure what Naito was looking for there, but he certainly failed in it. And now it seems as if all, well, 3 of the 4 men on the outside, and Rich Swann wants a bit more of Naito. Eye rake there. And Crews goes over the top rope. Backbreaker, neckbreaker combination, meanwhile, to Swann as he stands in the ring. Good God. Naito now trying to target everyone possible. I would argue maybe he is the most talented in this matchup, and that is what makes him the most difficult to fare off against. Tetsuya Naito now locking in a Koji clutch. Yes, he does. Koji clutch here on Apollo Crews. Trevor Lee going to come in and break this one up. Very smart idea there by Trevor Lee. Good thing he was in the ring, to be fair. Tetsuya Naito now countered by Crews. What can Crews look for now? He has an opportunity, but it's denied by Naito. And that's denied by Crews as well. Back and forth in the ring here. Great tilt-a-whirl DDT by Apollo Crews, but Trevor Lee quick to fight back there with that eye rake. Up against the barricade now. Back first into it. Be lucky we embraced the barricaded walls. I think that is certainly going to be most beneficiary for them. Apollo Crews now demonstrating pound for pound strength. Deadlift German. And Naito certainly reeling in pain from that one. Rich Swann came into the ring and immediately rolled back out of it. Trevor Lee, if I was him, I'd continue the fight on Rich Swann. He was certainly getting somewhere with him, but apparently he wants some more of Tetsuya Naito. Naito in a bit of trouble here as Crews sends him into the turnbuckle. Looking like another German suplex. Looks like we found our Brock Lesnar of ECW with all these German suplexes. Apollo Crews now, Irish whip into the turnbuckle goes Trevor Lee. Good counter, Swann back in, and he wants some more of Trevor Lee. And Lee now rolling outside of the ring. That leaves the NXT graduates to go one-on-one against each other. Crews and Swann. Who can succeed here? What an enziguri there. Blasted Swann in the side of the head. Naito returns to the ring now. Look for a spin heel kick there, but it did not connect. That's a good counter by Naito. Spinning kick there in the gut, and a drop kick to follow suit. Apollo Crews could be in trouble here as Trevor Lee gets back up to his feet. Meanwhile, and he's going to go right for Rich Swann here with a shin breaker, sending Swann down. And Trevor Lee now lying in wait, looking for something maybe, but Tetsuya Naito playing spoiler, looking for some kind of move here, but it's countered by Lee into a roll-up. Will this send Lee to Money in the Bank? No, it won't. To be fair, the referee down from somehow, but Rich Swann was standing right there and was well aware of what was about to take place. Meanwhile, on the inside, Trevor Lee going to go for a roll-up here, but he's not going to be able to get a pin from it. The referee still down. He must have been caught with something quite hefty to be still down at that point. But, well, just still down as long as he was. Naito recovering on the outside. Meanwhile, in the ring, Swann and Trevor Lee still going at it. Apollo Crews just kind of watching on very awkwardly. And Crews sends Swann to the outside now. Taking a moment to put on a bit of a gun show, apparently. That could have allowed Naito to gain an advantage, and it looks like Naito is going to go after Trevor Lee here as all 4 men return to the ring once more. Complete calamity thus far in this fatal 4-way. Been kind of well, not really a mismatch, but just a complete change-up of the singles matches taking place as Trevor Lee rolls outside of the ring now. Naito watching on as Swann goes up high. What a flying forearm shot that was, as Naito now with a great opportunity to lay out Swann. Top rope, Hurricanrana. He may have collided there with Apollo Crews. Naito with Crews alone in the ring. Gets countered though, unable to capitalize. Crews now going to look for a power bomb. Naito looking like he's going to do a good job there of countering out of that one. And it's going to be a Koji clutch once more. Cruz stuck in the Koji clutch. Look at how Swan just jumped up to his feet. Trevor Lee in the ring as well. And he's able to break it up. Save his chances and save his potential of going to Money in the Bank. Meanwhile, on the outside, Swan and Lee going back at it. Sneaky cover there by Naito, but Cruz kicks out at 2. If I was Swan, I'd go back to Lee, to be fair, but I got to keep my wits about me because this matchup might be nearing its end. Cradle shock, indeed it is. Cradle shock there by Swan. Dig at the former NXT champion, the man who he's beaten to getting out of NXT. But that being said, Chris Sabin's so crucial to the NXT brand, they are not willing to let him go right now, potentially. 3 of the 4 men in the ring right now. Naito recovering on the outside, and here goes Cruz's strength. Has him up in that back suplex position. Hoists him way up in the air. There's the power bomb, but he doesn't go for the cover. I think it was because Trevor Lee was watching on, and Lee now with an opportunity. It's countered by Apollo Crews, though. And Cruz now. Angle slam onto Trevor Lee, who sends to the outside. Kick in the gut now by Cruz, but it's Swan who's going to get the jump here. Tilt-o whirl, reverse DDT. And it's Swan and Naito left alone in the ring in this fatal 4-way. And what a fatal 4-way it's been thus far, to be fair. All 4 of these men desperately hoping that their name will be joining Samoa Joe's and Rusev's for that Money in the Bank ladder match. Fisherman suplex? No. Suplex. Oh, apparently it was Trevor Lee's finisher. Okay, suplex, small package. Didn't capitalize on it, I think it was because Swan was in the ring. Naito still laying out there. Cruz slowly recovering on the outside. It's Trevor Lee into the cover now. 1, 2, and... oh, it's 3! Trevor Lee is going to Money in the Bank! What a debut for this young man! That was quite the stare down, to be fair, to end off that hellacious fatal 4-way. Congrats to Trevor Lee, who will now go to Money in the Bank and join Samoa Joe, but certainly seems as if Joe has a, not really a grudge, but certainly seems he's trying to get in the mind of Trevor Lee and try and put him off ahead of Money in the Bank. You know what? I will not allow, I will try and see if that's the case. I think next week we're going to have Trevor Lee against Samoa Joe. Why not? They're both going to Money in the Bank. Let's see who can gain momentum on the road to that incredible pay-per-view. But with that being said, we move on now. Bray, Wyatt, and AJ Styles. Man alive, am I ready for this place to pop for the hometown hero. But Bray Wyatt is going to look to spoil that welcoming party, that return party for AJ Styles in the best way possible. Wyatt, of course, one half of the ECW Tag Team Champions last week. They knocked off DIY in a relatively easy contest, but that is, of course, due to the person who holds the belts with Bray Wyatt, that being the still undefeated Braun Strowman, a man who, no matter what you attempt against him, just cannot be brought to an end. His undefeated streak rolls on, but AJ Styles is going to look to try and secure a win just against Bray Wyatt here tonight. Wyatt waiting in place. And here we go. Look at the place immediately rise to their feet at the sound of his theme. Welcome home, AJ Styles. What a moment this is going to be for the Phenomenal One. The best thing he should do now is not disappoint his home crowd. Not disappoint the audience like Diamond Dallas Page does every single week, and like he did back at One Night Stand. When he was, of course, talking about, you know, how he was going to win the ECW Championship, ended up, of course, not winning it, but blah, 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 that's in the past. I'll let Styles have this moment and celebrate here to be back home. And I think what is best for Styles here, what he is doing right now, and what is a very good idea, I will say, is he's not soaking up the emotion. He's not letting it take over him. And he is just trying to stay focused on the match ahead here against Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt in his own right is still a credible competitor. Two-time tag team champion, former ECW television champion. Wyatt has credentials, but AJ Styles looking to secure that win and looking to perhaps push for himself and Shawn Michaels to challenge for those ECW tag team titles. Alright, well, let's see what is going to happen. We are ready for this matchup between these two men. AJ Styles, you could see him jogging on the spot. He is ready. He wants this one. And the bell rings and we are underway here, in a little bit of a uncharacteristic move there by Bray Wyatt, deciding to go for a collar and elbow tie-up right off the bat. Clean break between the two as Styles puts his mindset back to it, and here we go now. The Phenomenal One immediately getting underway. Phenomenal blitz already for Bray Wyatt to contend with. Very nicely done there, but it's a good counter by Bray Wyatt. Can he capitalize here? Nicely done there by AJ Styles to pull out the reversal. I can almost guarantee, even though we saw a lot of lights within this arena, a lot of the fireflies out, I can assume the moment AJ Styles' theme hit, those fireflies have become dim, and they're on the side of the Phenomenal One. And who can be surprised about that, to tell the truth? Styles now quickly going to work on Bray Wyatt, but Wyatt pulling out the counter there. Nicely done by Bray Wyatt. Imagine the damage he could do to the potentiality of AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels becoming #1 contenders. Because like I said earlier in the night when the Authors of Pain won their match, if Styles wins this one, the next week we'll see the Authors of Pain against AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels for the right to become #1 contenders for the Wyatt tag team titles, but that may be put in jeopardy should Wyatt pick up a huge victory over Styles here tonight. You obviously are aware that at every turn the crowd are going to be rallying behind AJ Styles, much like they should be rallying behind Seth Rollins week in and week out. As much as I do miss Seth Rollins being on this show, and it is a big miss as well. I do hope he's back very, very soon. We're still able to continue on with him. It's just the main event scene that's struggling. You know, the part that we actually really need a lot of people in for. Oh, what a super kick there by Wyatt! Totally drilled him in the skull there, but yeah, you know, it's nice that Diamond Dallas Page is hosting an open challenge, but no Rollins in the main event. That is, I'd be surprised if this arena is even slightly, you know, half full by the time Diamond Dallas Page makes his entrance. I did break the news to them that Seth Rollins wouldn't be here, but I think they stuck through it just so they could see their hometown hero, just so they could see AJ Styles. Do not be surprised if this arena suddenly gets much darker as we look to hide the empty seats. Could be a very dismal moment. Oh, lion salt there by Styles. Into the cover now on Wyatt. Looking to try and put him away here. Only a 2 count. Good kick out there by the tag team champion. Styles doing a very strong job right now. Doing a good number on Bray Wyatt. German suplex. Nice counter though. Wyatt kind of lying in wait and waiting for the right time to strike. And it is right now. Wyatt now. So there's the senton. A precursor. Perhaps to Sister Abigail. Will Bray Wyatt look for it? Well, for a moment he's going to take away the legs of AJ Styles, trying to make sure that should AJ Styles kick out of Sister Abigail, he is not going to be able to hit that phenomenal forearm. And now on the back as well. Wyatt going to the turn. No, he's not. Is he? Is he going to go to the... He's not going to go to the turnbuckle. And he may have backfired from it. Styles with a nice reversal. And now Styles looking to capitalize. Up on his shoulders. Fireman's carry. Neck breaker for Wyatt. Quickly into the cover. Look at the front few rows there. On their feet for Styles, but it's only a 2 count. Styles, don't let it. Styles shouldn't let this get the best of him. And he's not going to on the outside here. Styles trying to call Wyatt up to his feet. It is quite the leap he's going to have to make, but he's going to do it. Phenomenal forearm on Bray Wyatt. Had to make one incredible transition in mid-air there. Did it gradually and did it spectacularly as well. Into the cover. Will this be enough for Styles to get the win? Oh, so close. Wyatt just gets the shoulder up. Look at how Styles stays on the offense here. Smart by Styles, but Wyatt able to get a counter. Suplex. Oh, not really. He just kind of threw him away instead of suplexing him. Wyatt went to the turnbuckle, and I think Styles caught a glimpse of it in the corner of his eye. That was perhaps the best thing he could do in that moment. Bray Wyatt looking for a T-bone suplex, maybe. Yes, it is. But don't take too long, or rather phenomenal one, or you'll pay for it, and he paid for it right there. Single underhook suplex there. AJ Styles now cracking forearm in the face. What will Styles look to do against Wyatt? Oh, good God, there's good strength. But I think the backstage, Shawn Michaels is cheering on his tag team partner, hoping he can secure the victory here. The best thing is, the longer this match goes on, the more we don't have to pay attention to DDP, and that is all good in my books. T-bone suplex there by Bray Wyatt. I thought Styles' hand might have been under the ropes there, but apparently not. That may have just been me not being able to see things correctly. Wyatt, though, once more going to go for that senton splash, and he nails it onto Styles. He could be in considerable trouble for Sister Abigail. Uh-oh, going back to the legs once more. He did this last time around. Wyatt going right to the corner this time, but not for the reason we thought. The Georgia crowd here not reacting too well to Bray Wyatt's attempts of stealing AJ Styles' thunder, and here we go now, the infamous crawl of Bray Wyatt. The spider walk which leads into this as Styles tries to get back up to his feet. Sister Abigail, and Styles is busted open. This could be it for 1, 2, and 3. Bray Wyatt just defeated AJ Styles. Oh my, does that play spoiler on the ECW tag team scene? I don't know what to do right now. I genuinely am a little bit flustered by that one. Bray Wyatt victorious, and he did so with no second planning, with no Braun Strowman, with no underhanded tactics. The Gainesville crowd is surprised by this one, to say the least, and they really don't know how to react. And neither do I. I actually thought Styles was going to win that one, but apparently not. Alright, well, that being said, as Bray Wyatt celebrates his victory here amongst the shocked crowd, we are going to move on now to our main event. No, we're not, sorry. Nope, that is my bad. We're going to move on now. We're actually going to be hearing from the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, the ECW television champion, with a few things to say. Forgot, of course, he was going to have something to say. Let's see what Ambrose has to say in regards to this whole situation surrounding himself, Roddy Strong, and potentially Sheamus for the ECW television championship. Take it away, Dean. This may be regretful. Well, here he comes, the ECW television champion, Dean Ambrose, heading towards the ring now. Ambrose kind of was getting him. It seemed as if we were set up for Roderick Strong and Dean Ambrose, but Sheamus really threw a wrench in the works last week when he defeated Roddy Strong. And now it seems Dean Ambrose has something he wants to say in regards to this entire thing. Nice reception from the crowd here for the ECW television champion, and let's see what Ambrose has to say regarding this whole scenario. Alright, first off, okay, that's fair. Commending the crowd, thanking him for the reception, and saying he's enjoying being television champ, as you should. I mean, it's not every day you get to be a television champion, Dean Ambrose, and you should really take those opportunities when they are presented to you, and indeed you have. Kinda. Alright, now, whoa. Whoa, now. I'm going to have to stop you in your tracks there, Ambrose. No need to bring up the name Seth Rollins in a situation that has nothing to do with you. I know what he did last week may be a bit questionable in your circumstances, but there is no need for such a name to be brought up that has nothing to do with the current situation. Well. Ambrose, He wants a fight, and that is what something you got to commend about Ambrose. He's not afraid to get down and dirty, and he wants both of them. He doesn't care where, when, how, who. Wait, he just wants to fight these two men. And that I like the sound of. And there is Ambrose now, putting it all on the line. Next week, he wants to face both men in a title match. You know what? If Ambrose wants it, he's got it. I can safely say right now, he's got it. Next week, Ambrose, Roddy Strong, Sheamus for the ECW Television Championship. You have my word on that one. If Ambrose wants a fight, Ambrose is going to get a fight. If Sheamus and Roddy want that title, then they can have a shot at that title. They just got to go through the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Next week for the ECW Television Championship. Do not miss that matchup. And indeed, we will see you then for that title match. But for now, let's be ruined by Diamond Dallas Page. I can already feel the arena getting incredibly quiet. I was about to say we may be able to hear a pin drop, but then it got deafened. He got, completely outspoken by the arrogance of the ECW champion. Still makes me sick to think he's got that title around his waist. Last time he defended that title, he lost. Plain and simple. I don't care if it was by countout, he still lost. I am not a fan of the countout rule, and I'm showing why right now. The fact that this man still has the belt around his waist sickens me. But the Money in the Bank, that will all come to a crushing end for Diamond Dallas Page. His reign, his tyranny, his dictatorship, whatever other terms you want to use, it will come to an end at Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins will flush this situation away once and for all, put Diamond Dallas Page out of harm's way for good, and leave us with a brand that can only be classified as one word: glorious. Well, thank you, Bobby Roode. Thank you for bringing light to what could have been an awful situation. Bobby Roode, the glorious one, steps up to the plate, steps up to the challenge, and saves us all from a boring, dull, and uneventful main event. Let's all take a moment to thank the glorious one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Roode. You are a hero. Not a hero we necessarily deserve, but a hero we need. Yourself and Seth Rollins are the reasons why ECW is going to become the IT brand. And Roode, I wish there was a way to a much better looking Bobby Roode. Plus act that you are doing in hereby saving this brand from an unattractive... Oh, look at that curtsy. Oh, that is... that is glorious. That's all I can say. He's mixed up his entrance. He's got an even better robe, and it has resulted in... And here we go. The bell rings. We are underway for our main event here tonight, and Page seems to be just... Ah! As if this ECW couldn't get any better. It's Seth Rollins. Well, the arrival of Seth Rollins to ringside, a man I didn't even know was here, is certainly shaking things up a little bit. And you know what? I'm perfectly okay with it. As if this main event couldn't get any better. With Bobby Roode in the matchup, now we're saved, and now we are graced even more wholesome by the arrival of Seth Rollins. Oh, what did we do to get this lucky? Look at this perfect duo. Roode and Rollins. All that is right with ECW. All that brings such incredible... Just everything about them is incredible in that aspect. Such incredible ratings, such an incredible reaction every time the crowd sees them. It's just... They bring an incredible vibe as well to this brand. And now look at this. Page desperate for attention off Rollins, trying to jaw-jack him when he should be paying attention to Bobby Roode. And that was his own doing that cost him that one there. Diamond Dallas Page desperate to try and get in the mind of Seth Rollins ahead of Money in the Bank. Well, Page, if you were a good champion in hell, if you were a good wrestler, you'd be able to focus on this matchup and not the man who is 10 times more the man than you will ever be, 10 times the champion you will ever be. and 10 times the leader of ECW that you will ever be. And also 10 times richer you'll ever be because, you know, let's be honest, Diamond Dallas Page, you do not deserve any money. And needless to say, you have no diamonds to your name. Rollins pacing around a little bit on the outside. And it seems like he's going to try and just make this matchup a little more interesting. I think, you know, if Page wants to cheat his way to the ECW Championship, then why not get a little bit of revenge back on him? Here we go now. Rollins distracting the referee. Page in trouble. Oh, chair shot on the back. Beautiful, Page. Beautiful. No, Rude, you need to get it out of there because that could be a disqualification. And Rude, look, okay, I don't want you to get DQ'd. Hang on, Page is going to the chair. Oh, come on. Page, there's no need for this. Yeah, that's right. You wanted to use it. Be honest, Page. You were dying to use that steel chair. You were dying to give in and let your anger take over. But you were just trying to put on this false facade once more. Just trying to put on this, this I'm so good for everyone. I do what is right for everyone. And you almost let it slip there. You almost let your guard down. There's a diamond bomb, but Rude should be able to kick out of this one. No problem at all. But just in case he can't, Rollins is just going to help out his friend. Help out his partner there and just make sure he's okay. Back on the case now, and look, once more, desperate for attention. He didn't even need... Rollins was just having a quick conversation with the ref, making sure that everything was going clean and fair in this matchup. And then all of a sudden, DDP decides, oh, let me jaw jack with Rollins. Completely unnecessary, totally a waste of time. DDP now, no! Diamond Cutter! God damn it! Come on, Rude! And Page now is going to cheat his way to victory, looking to capitalize on this advantage. Cover here on Rude. Referee into count. And ref, come on, ref. Thank you very much. Bobby Roode there through no participation of Seth Rollins managed to get his hand on the rope. And look at Page shouting at Seth Rollins as if he did something. Except when you're wrong, Diamond Dallas Page. Well, you know what? I, for one, am glad that the referee opened his eyes there at that moment and was able to be aware that Bobby Roode's leg was on the ropes. He should have been aware of it. That was Roode's moment. You know, such a great work there by Roode. And now look at him. He's coming back in this matchup. He's going to work here on the ECW champion. Go on, Roode. Take it to the man. Look at him, Roode, though. He's not even scared of the threat that Page allegedly presents. Roode. What a spine. What a spine buster. Had to burp because it was so incredible. That was a manly burp for a manly spine buster. Page, though, tornado DDT to drill him down to the mat. Cover here. Rollins just not really affected by it. He's thinking nothing of it, and as he shouldn't. Bobby Roode there with more than enough ability left within him to kick out of it. What a strike in the face there by Roode. And now Roode, Impaler DDT. Oh, that was glorious. It was a glorious DDT. Nailed. Diamond Dallas Page. Come on. There's one. I was hoping for something that wasn't that, to be fair. Nevertheless, this match stays alive. Roode still has all the momentum and all the time in the world to get the win in this one. And look at DDP once more, trying to invoke a reaction out of Seth Rollins, trying to invoke a reaction out of this Gainesville crowd who has completely sided with Bobby Roode and now resorting to yet more desperate tactics. This is supposed to be the face that everyone cheers, and he's just exposing himself minute by minute to be the devious, conniving, evil son of a bitch that he truly is. Using a roll-up as a world champion. That is not the acts of someone who you're supposed to respect and cheer for, but rather the act of a man who is callous and afraid. Diamond Cutter again! Oh boy, this got a little bit more worrying. Into the cover here. Rollins, maybe you want to do something? Maybe you want to... No, Roode kicked out. Okay, that's fine. Roode got the shoulder up. I'm okay with that. Diamond Dallas Page desperately resorting into the cover once more on Bobby Roode, and he kicks out that time wholeheartedly. Beautiful. Now that was a much better kick out. Roode, if you just want to get back in the matchup, that would be 100%. There we go. Look at that. Fighting back. Being cheered on by Seth Rollins is willing. Bobby Roode on in this moment. Page, though, up to his feet. Catches him with a strike. Capture suplex. Beautiful. That's it. That's it. Just go to the corner. Just take some advice from Rollins and move on. Roode in trouble. There's a counter by Diamond Dallas Page. He's not in trouble. What am I saying? Looking for a clothesline, and look, that was one of the worst clotheslines I've ever seen. From one of the worst world champions. No. The worst champion I've ever seen. Call that a clothesline. Absolutely disgusting. And you cheer for this man. For some reason. Even after everything I've told you. After all the acts that he commits behind everyone's back. And he's going to pay for it again. He's going to get an almighty receipt with a glorious DDT. Come on, Roode. Go on. Go on, my boy. Drag him away from the ropes. Cover this man. This is it. 1, 2. Bah! Thought he had him. And now look at Page. He's retreating. He's running away. He's scared. He is scared of Bobby Roode, and look at what he has to do. He has to get in the face of Seth Rollins. Come on, that is just... Ref. Do something about that. He was trying to scare away a man just doing a simple managerial job. He's just there to root on his friend, and that is the reception he gets. Come on, ref. Should know better than to do something like that. Spinebuster! Yes! Go on, Roode. Please. Bust him open. Do it. He did! He busted open the ECW champion. That's beautiful. I didn't see any use of a foreign weapon either. I don't know about you. I didn't see any cheating. I see Diamond Dallas Page bleeding legitimately as a result of how incredible Bobby Roode is under the guidance of Seth Rollins. And people say Rollins can't save this brand. People say Rollins doesn't have what it takes to be able to save ECW. Roode now. Roll up, ref. That's not a rope break. Come on. You want to classify that as a rope break? Page's arm was nowhere near the ropes. Disgusting, ref. Page now in position. Roode rolls him up. Go on, Roode. Go on. The roll up. 1, 2. Bobby Roode has defeated the ECW champion. Oh, how glorious. Oh, what a moment this is to see Diamond Dallas Page and his big fat mouth be shut by the glorious one, Bobby Roode. And there's the man who helped him achieve it. Seth Rollins, the architect. The man who will become the 3-time ECW champion. And the man who allies himself with no one. Come on, Bobby Roode. You should know better. No one is on the same level as Rollins. No one is superior to Rollins. And if you want to try and be like Diamond Dallas Page, Bobby Roode, then you too can feel the wrath of the architect.